that should carry me over for the next 2 days.
I found a more realistic anthrofox I posted on the... he doesn't have the same energy, but he looks closer.
Okay. It's still nearly full moon. It's very close to.
Where'd you find the weed at?
It was in the green container, the rise up thing. I left some of it unsmoked because I didn't like it. But now that I'm like coming down, it's probably better than nothing.
Oh.
Then there's also the thing in the grinder of yours, and then we're about out.
Yeah.
I can probably do one more of the oil. There seems to be a little bit more than I expected, but that would be about the end of it. That should carry me over for around 2 days, if I ration it well. There's always more weed than you think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I could stand to take a shower.
You left your towel though in the bathroom, didn't you?
Yeah, I left it in the sink when I didn't use it with the other pants that meant to be washed. With hindsight, I should have probably placed them on the washing machine. I think. There should be another towel available here somewhere. I'd used that towel maybe 10 times, so it became dirty. Did the image of Khalid work?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 green blobs or something.
You get your yellows and your greens mixed up.
I think it was green.
I thought that was yellow.
I thought it was green, but I could be wrong. I thought
Maybe
it was
I'm
green.
wrong.
I've at least checked with the official color blindness tests many times, and I don't seem to have any kind of color blindness. So I don't think that's it, but it's possible. It's possible, but to me it appeared more green than yellow. What color would you say these pants are?
Beige.
Beige is a very good color for these. Definitely yellowish. Beige.
You saw the post with the 20 alien games, didn't you?
Yeah, I read the last one. Can't remember what it was about, but I read the last one of the games. I think it was the nail trimming simulator.
Yeah.
Anything on your mind?
This old phrase that says horizontal stripes make you look fat and the vertical stripes make you look tall.
Yeah.
Because I saw him in a striped shirt, like a wears Waldo shirt. Red stripes, red and white.
I'm really anxiously waiting for the experience with the mushrooms. I
Yeah.
can already tell that I'm being anxious about it. Do you sense anything? Or how do you feel about it? You worried that I'm gonna have a psychotic episode or something?
You'll get over it real quick if you break down a little bit. I have a feeling you'll bounce back real quick.
Yeah. I did a bet last time that I'm not gonna do more mushrooms until I'm like more filled with light and love. And when I complete like my quest to find a better place or a better society kinda, that I'm gonna do it once more and then there's gonna be a long break again. And now I feel with the masters that I've achieved the better society that I was gambling about, you know? And I haven't taken mushrooms in the meantime, so I feel like it's time for me to take mushrooms and just go with the intent of, last time I asked for light, now I'm gonna ask for love. You know, that I'm gonna do that. Every path that can be opened for like good love should be opened and so on. But it shouldn't become like too open so that my brain falls out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's about what I'm gonna put as an intent, and then I'm gonna do like 5 grams of truffles or something, like a fairly small dose. Sit in my bed and that's about it. Record it on YouTube or something.
If I were you, I would work on not being so resistant to the backlash of of this master stuff that you've been doing. It's going to create a backlash. You need to let it wash over you and not try to
love. That's
Yeah.
exactly love. Working on that stuff.
because that you're going to be more sensitive to that hitting you when you do the mushrooms if you don't
Yeah.
become okay with that.
I'm completely in agreement with you. And all the bad stuff I've done over the years needs to be washed with love. I need to let it wash over my system. In my opinion, the hippie community should call themselves love workers instead of light workers.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but that kind of connects them with the prostitute energy, but that would probably be a good thing. That love workers aren't just prostitutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be a good starting target for them, like working to accept and integrate that energy. Can you light this? Not this. This. Can you try to light this? I think the thing is broken. I can't get it to light at all. You have to press it like insanely hard.
Oh, no.
Yeah, me neither. When I try to do it, it just does this.
You're stronger than I am with your thumb.
Yeah, it still like basically breaks. If we had a strength competition where the results were matched against our weight, you know what I mean? We would be fairly close. We're both like plump fat asses that aren't out of shape, you know what I mean?
But I was able to push a lawnmower, riding lawnmower with somebody on it uphill.
Yeah, you were.
But I pushed it like 2 feet and then I fell down.
Yeah.
That was as strong as I am.
Yeah. I was able to bench press 55 kilos, but that's about the extent of it.
I don't think I've ever gone over 100 pounds on a bench press.
I did 55 kilos. I managed to do like 5 repeats, and then I put 60 on it, and it like fell on my chest, and I couldn't get it up, and I had to ask one of the other guys for help.
Oh.
I asked him, he was in the same room, if I can do the bench presses, and when I can't lift them up, if he can spot me. He said that he's gonna able to spot me once, but he can't like stay there.
Yeah.
So if I do it again, he won't be able to help me, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's okay, I'm just gonna do it once. And I kept adding in 5 kilo increments, and at the end he said my arm position was completely wrong. That if I place my arms properly, I will be able to lift something like 80 kilos, because I can do like a push-up.
Yeah.
He said that as long as I can do basically a push-up, I should be able to lift my own body weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting. I never like experimented with that much. I went to the gym like 3-4 times. One of my friends invited me, but it wasn't my place. I didn't like it. I liked martial arts practices more, but I didn't like the strict atmosphere of the martial art I studied. I didn't like it, so I kind of quit. I should have stayed there. There were very many interesting people there.
If I would have stayed in the martial art, I'd probably be a black belt by now.
You would be a 10 black belt. You would be a huge.
It's been years.
Yeah. The 5 black belt exam in the ninjutsu, somebody tries to hit you with a sword from behind and you have to roll away at the right moment. That's like insane, man.
There was this movie, I think it was Shaolin Soccer, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But this martial art, he said he studied martial arts so much that it drove him mad.
Yeah.
He could take a long wooden pole and twist it so fast that it split, it twisted and it split apart. And that was funny.
There's this weird American kung fu movie that's like a spoof on all the bad voiceover kung fus. I can't remember its name.
Yeah.
But they have like weird tricks and like weird kung fu things, and like it's voiceovered with the original guys doing the voiceover, you know what I mean? So they speak one thing on the video and then like the audio is completely different. It's like a weird kung fu movie. Watched like half of it, but never like really got into it. But it was kind of funny.
Did you ever see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah.
They were on the tree limbs, the thin limbs.
Yeah, running in the air and going like weird like jumps in there. I'm like, ninjas.
I like the sword that could cut a piece of pottery in half.
I don't remember that part.
That's where I learned about stillness. He's like, the important thing about a blade is how to hold it in stillness.
Yeah.
And but they just went dink like that and cut a piece of pottery in half with the.
Reminds me of
blade.
Zelda. It reminds me of Link and Zelda, where you go and hit the potteries to find the little coins inside.
Oh.
You go to somebody else's house and start breaking all the pottery and finding all the coins and then leaving and going, oh, goodbye. And then when you come back, it's full of pottery again.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. That was a great SNES game. It's absolutely marvelous. Like one of the best games ever. Chrono Trigger is better though. Mosquito, I got you. But you didn't stick to my hand, you fell on the ground. Well, I suppose that's even.
I'm noticing the resistance I have with the new Anthro is kind of lessening a little bit, but there's still a resistance between our fields. But I still feel him compatible, but there's a resistance there.
Okay. Would you trade mosquito bites for the sensation that whenever a mosquito lands on you, one of your friends slaps it to death, you know? That you randomly feel a stranger slapping you on your like butt when a mosquito lands there. Would you trade all the mosquito bites for that?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I think I would. It would be like weird. Feeling like, ow, every time a mosquito bites you.
It's 12:12 now.
Nice. Weird that your clock shows it 12 when our clock shows it to be 0, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Is yours a military format?
Yeah,
Like 2400 or 2300?
2400. We use military time for almost everything. It's I feel it's more convenient than the AM PM thing.
When I ask Google, that Google Home thing, what time is it? It gives me the time, but it doesn't say AM or PM, so sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
Like if it was 6 o'clock or whatever, like where it could be dark out, you don't know.
Yeah.
If it's AM or PM. If you woke up in the middle of the day and it said it was 7 or something, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I saw a young picture of Tails and I was like, that's sexy, but I felt so bad because he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's other people in the world that are in love with Scald too?
Oh yeah,
Are you jealous of them?
of course. Considering them my enemies, you know what I mean? Though in the way that Skald works, they'll actually be allies because she'll give everybody a one face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she'll give every one of them a different one because it's like a god creature. It's like a civilization, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't consider them my enemies, I should consider them my allies. My aura is a lot less bright right now, though it's still fairly bright. It was really bright white and blue. Like really bright, almost bright enough to hurt my eyes. It was looking at a lamp. I think it was Joe Rogan that I was talking about. The radio guy, not Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
wonder what the world would be like if during the Second World War the Scandinavian countries had openly sided with Finland and declared war on the Soviet Union and made like a union of all the nations, you know what I mean? Really wonder what the world would be like.
Is it tense between Sweden and Finland?
Not really, but we are like uncomfortably close friends. We were both pretty much hosed by the rest of the world during the Cold War, and we decided that we need to be really close.
The guy who replaced Arbel was George Norrie.
Okay.
If you heard of him.
No.
You should be on his show. He does UFOs and stuff.
Yeah, I would describe my UFO boat and go like, it's a self-sentient kitty cat boat.
He's coast to coast, George Norrie. He's the one that runs it now.
I may try to do the thing with the blender on your computer if I feel like it.
I thought you did Lightwave.
I do Lightwave, like mostly, but I can't get it for years because I can't access the piracy networks with the net connection I have at the home.
Yeah.
So I might as well do it with Blender. It'll be a little more difficult, but I think I'll get it done.
There are Blender training videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard.
If you have an aptitude for 3D modeling, you should pick it up right away.
Yeah.
It also uses, I think, Python for programming.
Yeah. 1221.
Yeah.
1221. One of the guys in Bring Forth, like a long time ago, said to me that I'm gonna wake up, or that said to the group that I'm probably gonna wake up at 12:21, and I was like, what does that mean? And one of the guys told him to shut up, and I was like, what? That was really weird. That was really weird. I wonder what they were talking about, like, at the base level of reality, you know?
Oh.
I'm gonna descend all the way to the second density, you know what I mean? That's the sense I got. I was like, what?
Someone on Bring Forth told me my subconscious was the desert wasteland.
Yeah. Not really. I consider it a very fruitful place. And Relaxo private messaged me like a long time ago and told me under threat that I shouldn't hurt your tender heart, and I was like, you do realize that makes me more likely to hurt him because you're threatening me? You know what I mean? I was like, that was offensive. But there's a lot of weird stuff there. Speed Force hasn't posted a second thing.
Yeah.
He may have expected us to answer more, but because he didn't get the answer, he floated away on his own.
Maybe he was put off by my posts.
Yeah. He just floated on his own. It was nice to have him there, but he wasn't a long-time visitor. And I don't like the current trend of people going like hugely in favor of breaking through the veil. I don't like that. I consider that to be God's greatest gift. It's weird that they're going all ape about going through the veil. It seems to me like they're rushing to give up the gift of life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Prefer to incarnate to a planet with the veil and just have a very good outcome.
Are you going to make your next life easier than this one?
Yeah, I've had enough of the hardness. Have you seen Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets?
No.
Maybe? Okay. There's a good alien race there that looks like kind of what I want to be next.
Do you want to be in a position of power or not?
I don't know. I want to control at least my own life. Could be that I incarnate into a position of power on one of those very peaceful societies and slowly start to like adjust it. Could be. Time will tell.
I'd almost rather be a 3rd density anthro than a 4th density anthro in my next life.
Yeah. I don't like the fact when you're without the veil that you constantly realize that everybody else is God. It feels lonely to me.
Yeah.
It's like better to have at least the solid illusion that there's another self to care for. There's a spider hanging by a thread there.
Oh,
Now I can't see it anymore. It's hanging by a thread there. There it is. There you go. Now it's on your toe. There it goes. Weird spider. Almost fly. Did you get all the things processed, like the videos?
Yeah, they're uploading now.
Okay.
There's only 2 videos. Well, there's 6 clips, but I combined them into 2 videos.
Okay.
you'll have enough videos to just go pick a random one and go to a random point and get a message for that moment.
Yeah, it's gonna work.
We have seven sets of videos so far.
Yeah.
And like one of the sets has like 5 or 6 videos on it.
Yeah. And I have like 140 podcasts. I have the ability to do the thing.
Yeah.
It works well. Still miss my Winamp thing. It was very funny.
How many songs did you have or sounds?
Audio files, 300,000.
Really?
Yeah. All the computer sounds of people going like grunt grunt, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And all the gun sounds and all the movies and videos and stuff.
Was it pretty accurate doing a flight with them?
Yeah, it was incredibly accurate. It was
I find my on my Amazon Music player,
yeah.
If I go all songs, it's not really accurate. But if I go like my playlist of 230 songs, it's more accurate. And my MP3 player is accurate.
Yeah.
But the Amazon player is pretty random. It doesn't.
Yeah. The AI is probably not like fully aware of you yet, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But it's good with the playlist, my good songs playlist. I have love songs mixed in with regular songs.
Yeah.
And when I ask about my relationships, I get love songs. And when I ask about other things, I get like other non-love songs.
Yeah. Still a little bit left. I'm gonna grind another set.
From that?
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna use the oil this time. It'll last a little bit shorter, but it'll be tastier. I have, like, when you look, I have this much left remaining.
I can't see in there.
Okay. With the sun, the light doesn't really help you. You have to look at it like this.
How many grams is that?
That's like 1/2 gram, maybe. I use one of these small nuggets with a huge amount of tobacco so that I can barely taste it, but it should still be good.
Are you going to have enough tobacco to last for the rest of the time you're here?
I think so. I'll buy more weed probably by visiting that little store, so we don't have to order.
Do you think you need one more of those $50 containers or 2 more?
Probably 2. It depends on when I feel like when we go there and how fast the money arrives.
Yeah.
The longer we have, the more likely it is that I'll just buy a 50 from there and order one online.
Yeah.
But that depends very much on when the money arrives. Really disappointed in our bank. Really disappointed. Should have handled this much better. They were completely amateurish. It's like watching Amateur Hour, you know what I mean?
Oh. You should have did a flight to see how it would have turned out.
Uh-huh. I never think of those things in advance of doing the spiritual work to improve my own everyday interactions.
Yeah.
I just do like huge global things and like basic background energies. I never get like using my abilities for my own benefit on a day-to-day level. I never like get that going.
I'm glad we didn't do tarot on that anthro boyfriend I wanted at first.
Yeah.
Because it would have probably shown bad negativity, and then I may not have even tried.
Yeah. It's possible.
Or it may have shown that I would face troubles, and then I would overcome them and try again.
It's possible. I don't like using psychic abilities for things as they would say that are too close to you.
Oh.
I like using them for things that are distant, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't tried that other lighter that you have in a while, the thing with the huge flame.
Yeah.
Because sometimes these things fix themselves when you put them on the table and wait for like a couple of days.
Oh.
You know, the spirits fix them, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's possible that it's working now.
I don't know if you got oil in it or what.
No. I don't know what happened because I never put it like really close to the thing because the flame was so huge that it could probably melt glass.
Yeah.
I always kept it at a distance, but I probably used it so many times that it broke.
Yeah.
That's the most probable one. At least we have lighters instead of having to use that electrical light thing. That would have been bad to like use for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That would have been really unwieldy. We got it through our heads that we can actually buy lighters, you know what I mean? Weird stuff like that happens and blocks you. But yeah, I definitely need to quit drugs. They've taken too much of my time. When I started, I was like 25, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in ways, I feel like I just took a hit and I was 25, and the next thing I realized I'm 34, you know what I mean? Like time just vanished in the meantime,
Yeah.
you know? It feels like I wasted enough of my life on drugs now, you know what I mean?
Right.
It feels like I need to focus on physical things while I'm still, in quotes, young. And I'm not completely opposed to the idea of starting a family fairly soon. I don't want to be like 60 when the kid is like 15, you know what I mean?
Are you going to do a trickle vent for the person?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm a little undecided on that part. I feel like the period on drugs really gave me an understanding of relationships because I wasn't in any of them for a long time.
Yeah.
And I disconnected from my entire voter group. I had an 80 activist group following me around. And when I like switched my energies, they switched the pictures they have, you know what I mean? So that they were like literally, truly following me around. And when I did like a flight where I got a lot of hits on me or did something that caused a lot of damage to me, the guys posted like pictures of old military things that have been destroyed and so on. And they were like literally following me around. They were like my group, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I disconnected from them all, and that feels a little sad. It was like a huge effort to build the thing. When I was like heavily into drugs, I'm not currently that heavily into drugs. I wanted a lot of free space. I wanted like space in my field, you know what I mean? And now I perhaps have too much of it, and I'm like a tornado trying to hold my own thoughts because I don't have like the mirrors that I used to have. Feels a little sad. But that's the undercurrent of drugs. They always make you a little sad in the end. Because you can't stay there and you have to do the physical effort to get there.
You said it before that a window will only open for 2 days or so to meet somebody. Is that to meet somebody, or is that when you already know them?
When you already know them well and you have like a feeling that you have a window to your particular paradise, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That things will go perfectly if you pick the window for the rest of your life, but it usually just hovers for a few days. That's what I've experienced. It's possible that some people have it for a longer time, but for me it usually hovers for a few days and goes like, okay, you didn't pick me, and moves on, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I like that sense. You ever watched Scrubs?
Yeah.
You remember the episode where that one guy stuck a light bulb up his butt?
No.
Okay, I'm just thinking of that when the janitor gets to play doctor with the doctors because he's the only one who knows anything about light bulbs.
Oh.
And the main doctor takes credit for their discovery and introduces himself to the patient's parents when the thing is over and goes like, you know, my idea. And the guys put the light bulb that was in one guy's butt into the table light of the main doctor, and he goes like, oh my god. I was just thinking about it, laughing really hard.
That doctor is really sorry. I mean, not the doctor. The janitor is really sarcastic.
Yeah, the janitor is by far the funniest guy in that show. He's hilarious. Like when they made like the 8th season.
Oh yeah.
They made like the 8th season where the janitor and one of the main guys is like very rarely seen. The janitor is never seen. It wasn't funny anymore. It was like sad. It was only funny because the janitor was around, basically. And when the janitor gets the idea of adopting a kid with the legal guy, the attorney guy who is always the...
Ted?
Yeah, Ted, who's always like really out of it.
Yeah.
And he gets an idea for a TV show where the two of them take care of that kid.
Yeah.
Kid that's called Legal Custodians. I was like, nice! That's a smart pun. It's almost British in how smart it is. Dry wit. It's really difficult explaining to somebody who lives in a capitalist society like the US what it really feels like when the state is like on your side, you know? It's really weird explaining that to somebody in America. They think that it's psychotic. I've had that told me a few times. when I explained that when you live in a half socialist state like Finland, you distinctly get the sense that the state is on your side. And when somebody like the police does things like limit people's rights, it's not the state doing it, but the police, you know what I mean? That you literally feel like the state is on your side. It's really hard to explain that feeling to somebody.
Have you heard of that company called Midas?
No?
They make mufflers, and
No, don't.
they work on. They're like an auto body. They work on mufflers.
Yeah.
But for cars, mufflers. But
Yeah,
there's this joke that goes, and there was this guy who always had bad luck. One day a genie stopped him and gave him the Midas touch. From then on, everything he touched turned into a muffler.
Nice. Muffler touch.
Yeah, it's Midas is a company here in America.
Yeah. There's a few funny companies in America, like the guy with the 5-star general with the mustache on its logo. I don't remember what it's called. It's some kind of insurance company or something. And a few other companies like that try to be funny instead of like advertising, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
A couple of those.
Is he the Dr. or the obvious guy? He's like Professor Obvious or something?
No, I don't think so. It could be. Like a couple of those ads I've seen, like the Liberty Mutual ad tries to be funny, but it doesn't like really come across as funny. It comes across as like weird, you know what I mean? Sometimes funny ads work. Like in Finland there was this ad that was voted like the funniest in the year. We had this like competition where there's like this worm trying to cross a street, and a car drives over it, and he goes exactly in the crack of the car's tire. And like,
does he get stuck to the tire?
No, the car goes over it, and he gets up, and he's like under the crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the tire companies like advertising that they have deep cracks in their tires, that it's like good for like hard weather. And it was like, nice, it was funny ad. There was a book of weird translation errors that people did when they were translating movies into Finnish. And there was this one where one of those guys is describing a 12-foot crocodile eating groundhogs. So obviously a crocodile that's 12 foot long eating crocodiles, eating groundhogs. It was translated as a groundhog with 12 feet that ate crocodiles. Oh. Everybody was like, how did you get that translation, man? How is that even how is that possible? Like, 12-foot groundhog eating crocodiles.
Some people here say up at the butt crack of dawn instead of just the crack of dawn. They say the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah. When you keep jumping your left leg up and down for a long time and you suddenly stop, you get a kind of weird nausea.
Oh.
I think it's because you use the potassium ion channel in your body so much that when you actually stop, you get like a kind of like a salt sickness, you know?
Oh.
Feels vaguely similar to when your leg feels asleep and you like sit on the toilet for too long or something like that.
Have you ever rested your leg on another leg, kind of like that, where it's at rest?
Yeah.
But it gets even at rest, it gets worn out.
Yeah, that occasionally happens. When you get older, you notice that your body becomes worn out, even though you're doing nothing. You like become tired of being like just at rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the tiredness at the end of fourth density. You don't die of nothing, or like nothing kills you, but you become wary of life.
Yeah.
That's like the end of fourth density, so they describe it. Or was it fifth density?
Well, Ross said it was 90,000 years, but it could probably be as long as you want.
Mm-hmm.
An incarnation in fourth density.
I feel like there's literally no rush in getting to the next density.
Yeah.
That you will be kept at the lowest one where you feel comfortable, you know what I mean? that they don't rush you to the end of the game.
Well, it's still millions of years in fourth density.
Uh-huh.
Unless you're a wonder and have already done it.
Uh-huh. There's a story about a guy, or like two guys, who were flying one of those supersonic planes, and the control was hanged up and the thing was starting to like break apart, and he pulled like the ejection lever at going like faster than the speed of sound, and his arm was ripped from his body and was like attached by a skin thread, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And the other guy in the back seat died, but he managed to get to the ground and like 6 months later was flying again. He said it felt like being hit by a freight train. That when you go faster than the speed of sound, the shock when you actually do eject is enormous. It's evidently fairly rare for a person to survive an ejection like that. There have been some stories of people falling from airplanes, like commercial airplanes, like at 10,000 meters or like 30,000 feet, you know, and hitting like a grass patch when they fall to the ground and surviving.
Yeah.
There are stories of people like that.
There's a guy who dove from space or something like that. He was in a suit and stuff, but he broke the sound barrier. He's like the only guy with just his body to break the sound barrier.
Yeah, I recall that guy. He was doing, I think, the Red Bull Challenge or something.
Oh, yeah?
I recall that guy. I think his name is Felix.
Oh, I don't know.
I remember the name Felix because there's a tomato ketchup company in Finland called Felix.
Oh.
So that's why I remember his name. I think it was Felix something. I feel like his name was Felix Baumgarten, but I think it's probably not Baumgarten. Buttgarden. That's like Slim Michigan.
I think it was The Life of Brian. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know if it was that one. Were there the Roman soldiers in it?
Yeah.
And he's like a biggest diggus.
Yeah, that one guy's name, and everybody starts laughing. Huge coyotes! Do you have like a confirmation camp in America where if you're a Christian you like spend like 2 weeks at a church camp when you turn 16 or something? That it's like obligatory for everyone to spend at some kind of summer camp for like 2 weeks.
They may have that in certain denominations, but
Yeah. In Finland we have that, and you can pick like the ET camp, which is in Finnish elämänkatsomustieto, which is like life sciences. It's basically the atheist version, but everybody gets to spend 2 weeks at a summer camp with all the people of their same age, and when they turn like 16 or so, and there's like supervisors there and other older people who have gone through the process there, and they get like thought about different religions when they like go there. It was a very pleasant experience.
When I went to UTSA before it started the college,
Yeah.
we had a Roadrunner. A Roadrunner is the mascot, whatever. But we had a Roadrunner camp that was like a week long. But you got to spend a camp with people your same age before college started, so you made friends.
Yeah, sounds nice. Similar to ours, I think.
I'm gonna go in before too long and get my coffee and chill out in the recliner.
Yeah.
I want to get some more chips.
I think I'm gonna be out here for around 15 minutes more. Can you handle that?
Probably my butt's hurting though on this chair.
This is a fairly hard chair. Last time I was here, my butt started to hurt, and I had to go like sit on my the corner of my butt instead of the central, and then I'd have to go like squeeze.
In a way, it's good that I don't have a tail, because that would be very uncomfortable.
In most of these chairs, that would be very uncomfortable. To quote one of my friends, I wish I had a tail so I could anally masturbate myself. That'd be really hard with a fluffy tail, but if you had like a rat-like tail, I could see that happening. Sad we didn't get to watch all the episodes of Goddess series.
We got all but 2.
Yeah, we could have done the second. Yeah, we could have done the second season as well if it was publicly available. The company in America that licensed it only licensed the second season, so that's not available online, but the first season is. It's weird that they only licensed the second season.
Yeah.
It's a little weird, but I kind of understand their motivation that they let you get to know the series first.
How many more hits do you have on that?
10-15. Because it's dry, it'll go much faster than the wet one with the oil in it. I hope I won't get into trouble with anyone when I move back into the center. It would be nice if that one guy's got in his own place by now.
The guy who hurt you?
Yeah. He may do something unpredictably stupid when I move back there. It's possible, but I hope he doesn't.
Was he angrier than my mom gets?
He was about the same. But he was like physically hurting. Your mom is content to scream and like throw stuff instead of coming at me with a knife. He probably became angry at me because I tried to pull him away from the fight with the black guy. He tried to stab him with a bottle in the public place and nobody told the police, even the staff members who knew about it. And I was like, do you want these things to escalate because you don't tell the police, or are you just stupid? He tried to stab someone with like a broken bottle, and you don't tell the police and want us to be friends? Are you just an idiot?
Did you get the police involved when he stabbed you with that pen?
No, but I got the health guys involved. I told the health workers what had happened and wanted them to like inspect the wound and just like in case it got bad that I got a doctor's certificate that it happened before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the staffers also knew that he was being aggressive, but they wanted us to talk it out and like have a meeting with the staffers, and I was like, he attacked me and you want me to sit down with him and listen to him lie to you, you know what I mean? It was all very bad. And he was going around talking that I broke his fingertips, squeezing them against the door, and like that the doctor said that they're completely turned to ash and like that they're shattered, and he kept waving them around, and I was like, are you trying to pick a fight, you know what I mean? That they were clearly not broken. You can't wave your fingers around if your fingertips are broken, and you know, they weren't even discolored and none of the fingernails were even hurt, and I was like, you know what I mean?
Was he talking in Finnish?
Yeah, he was clearly psychotic, like evil. I hope he gets good karma, you know what I mean? I'm trying to use these lighters alternatingly so the gas starts to, like the liquid turns to gas and the flame is bigger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
5 to 10 hits remaining, then I'm gonna go inside and continue the flight. Probably gonna play XCOM tomorrow or today. I don't know, but one of these days close by. I need to complete the game before I move out because it's much funnier to play on your computer, you know what I mean?
Funnier?
Funnier than on a small laptop, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And it may not even work on the laptop I'm getting. It's possible the Masters game won't work on the laptop I'm getting, but we'll see. I'll be getting it in 2 months. Until then I have to play at my friend's place.
You should. I think it goes. It's funner to play it, not funnier. It's funner to play it on the desktop. Funnier means like hilarious.
I think both apply, but you're probably more in the correct path. It's probably better to say funner than funnier, but you could probably say funnier as well.
Yeah.
You could probably say that as well, but it sounds a little off, you're right. Sounds a little weird. I'd want to smoke weed with Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have all these weird desires that I would be, like, perfect if I lived in, like, the rich Hollywood society, but I never got in there, so they're, like, weird floaty desires. Like, what are the chances of me actually ever running into Snoop Dogg and having a smoking contest, you know what I mean? But if I was, like, a rich guy living in Hollywood, it would be, like...
You know, you needed Willie Nelson, because he outsmoked Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that would be nice, but I'm more in favor of Snoop Dogg. I know him better. I want to post on his timeline, because I've been following his timeline a while. I want to post on it and, like, challenge him to a smoking contest, but that it has to be done like in person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He probably gets a lot of offers for that.
Yeah, probably gets a huge amount of them. What's that thing on the fence there? That little bug-like thing.
I'm not sure what that is, a roach or something.
Yeah, I hope it's a caterpillar. I could pick it up and put it in the tree. I saved like 15 of those green caterpillars from various places and put them on the tree. But I haven't
Even the poisonous furry ones?
Yeah. And one of those white furry things. And I hope they all did well, but I haven't seen those green things for a while. They probably all turned into moths.
In Panama, when I lived in Panama, they have these caterpillars that are like 5 inches long.
Yeah.
And they have a stinger on the back that's like an inch long.
Nice.
And a little kid was climbing a pole or something and got stung by one of them, and he's crying and all that. My dad had to pick him up, carry him, and take him to the hospital.
Ouch.
Yeah, so.
In Finland, there's always somebody in the winter who's stupid enough to stick their tongues in a frozen pole.
Yeah.
And their tongue gets stuck there, and the ambulance shows up, and they just pour
Hot water
on the thing, and it goes, and they're like, my tongue burnt and frozen. It's really nice. Really not nice. Everybody does that in winter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's stupid enough to do that. Not me personally, but you know what I mean.
I've been in cold places, but I've never done that.
Yeah.
I put my finger on a pole, and it's been sticky.
Yeah. It's a little bit sticky. It gets stuck to the pole real quick.
We had a freezer one time. Our freezer, my finger got stuck to there's metal in it, and
Yeah.
I was putting something in, and my finger got stuck kind of to the metal inside of it, the freezer.
Yeah. Though I did get into a lot of weird troubles and occasionally had to call like people to help us when me and my friends were like climbing things.
Yeah.
And got their foot stuck between like two metal poles when they were coming down, and then they couldn't climb back up again. And we had to get like people to help us and so on. I did a lot of weird exploration things when I was a kid. I used to like explore sewers and weird things like that.
Yeah, me too, but they weren't dirty. They were just
Water pipes.
water pipes, but they didn't have water in them. They were just, but they were big culverts, with they're 5 feet wide or whatever, and I would just go and you look out through the, into the road or whatever.
Yeah, I did a lot of that stuff as well. I occasionally saw like angry demon faces looking at me, like, which in hindsight is clearly me getting too close to their base, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like if you know the proper spot in the wall to knock and the door will open and you'll be in the alien base, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I clearly saw things like that and it was weird. And then when I got older, my friends used to drive around the city in cars and go into weird places, and occasionally I bumped into like satanic sacrifices and weird stuff like that. I never saw anything, but sometimes in like various neighborhoods we all felt, even the atheist people, like a huge sense of evil looking at us. Like a huge overpowering sense of evil, and we all freaked out and had like a panic and so on. And weird things like that.
My mom had this porcelain jester's head, jester.
Yeah, Joker.
Yeah, and it had ribbons or whatever, and when you got near it, the ribbons started moving.
Nice.
It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, a little freaky. How long is the recording?
Hour 15.
Okay, this is a long one. I thought we were doing a shorter one. Felt like half an hour at this point, you know what I mean?
We did an hour earlier.
Yeah, this seems about the right length. I have maybe 5 hits remaining.
What image are we going to use for today?
Use the anthro you found.
Well, I have to have him drawn because he's kind of in between two of them.
Yeah.
The other one lays closer. He looks closer to them, but the energy of him isn't right.
Yeah. You could put both of those pictures side by side and have that as the picture.
Okay.
But use one of those anchors. Try not to use the one that's copyrighted very strongly, the Sonic one.
Yeah.
If it like is blocked on copyright grounds, you know what I mean?
Well, I can use fan art or something of Tails.
Yeah, you'll find a good one. I'm gonna put all the things I don't need in my pocket already. So it's gonna be faster when we start to move. Still have a little bit remaining. Oh, 110.
Yeah. What was that binary joke you told me before about 1-1 or?
The one they bring forth guys said?
No, it was a binary joke about there are 2 kinds of people or 11 kinds of people.
There are 2 kinds of people who. There are 10 kinds of people. Yeah. Those that understand binary and those that don't.
Yeah.
That's the joke. I mistold it very badly a few times when I was younger.
There's another joke that says there's 2 kinds of people. One, people that can extrapolate from incomplete data.
Yeah.
You done already?
Yeah, I'm done. There's like ash remaining. I could have taken a few more hits, but it felt like ash.
Alright, I'm going to stop it.
Yeah, bye everyone.